The day has come, friends. This is the final ride to meet Wilbur's new owner. It's been a wonderful 3 years or so. This little truck's really helped me grow my business. But it's time to send him off and pursue the purchase of something a little bigger. This little truck has helped me grow Southeastern Land Specialist. He's been a part of taking care of my family. It's weird to see him so clean. He's running good. I got the fuel tank topped off for the new owner. Checked the oil earlier. Figure I'll just take you guys along on the final ride. I've seen some pretty good prospective new trucks. They're out there. But boy, this little truck runs good. This truck. It was hard to make the decision to sell him. Oh my gosh, it's been a hard decision. I figured it only fitting to bring you guys along on this final voyage. There it went. If you guys were hearing that constant hissing till this thing warms up, there's a pop-off overpressure valve that lets air off, and then once the air governor kicks out, it's set to go. Everything this age has some personality. And I forgot to get my coffee. Rats. Of course I'd forget my coffee. I might spend some time with this boy, teaching him how to drive this truck a little bit. after this ride, you guys will probably never see this little truck again. I'll admit it, I get way too attached to stuff like this. It's like letting go of a best friend or something. But I'll get something else and life will move on. Hopefully that next something's even better than this was. I've poured a lot of time and money into this truck, and I got a lot of good out of it, and I believe the next owner will get a whole lot of good out of it too. Local grocery store. Figure since he's not too experienced driving these commercial trucks, it'll be easier for him to get in and out driving wise. This video will be good for me to be able to look back to see the final ride in this little rig. There they are. I hope they're just as excited as I was to bring this thing home. Somebody here looking for a good old truck? Yes, sir. All right, we're going to do a ride around. All right. You know, I ain't never rode over here on this side. Been a commercial vehicle before, right? That's right. All right, we're going to take one step at a time. Okay, we're not even going to worry about like getting out in traffic yet or anything. Okay, so just go ahead and hit your foot brake, which is just like any other car. All right, now flip that switch down all the way. There you go. Now your brakes are released. You supplied air to the chambers. All right, now push your clutch all the way to the floor, and now just put your hand on this and just put pressure on it. All right, yep, perfect. You're in second gear. Second gear. Yep. Okay. For ease of learning, that's going to be first. Okay. Okay, you've got 8 gears, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then you'll go to the high side. We're going to stay in the lower 4, just right around the parking lot. Okay. So just go ahead and ease off your brake and just ease off the clutch. Believe me, it'll be slow. Remember to breathe. All right, there it goes. Yep, just ease on out on it. It won't go fast. There you go. Now, it's got a lot of torque, so don't let it startle you when you hit the fuel. It feels like you're getting a lot of power, but it's not going to go fast like a car does. Okay. All right, so just ease on the fuel just a little, and we'll just ease around in the parking lot. There you go. Now, as you, just keep you a circle. Yep. Now what I want you to do is grab your gear shifter, and as you let off the fuel, pull it straight back from second to third without the clutch as fast as you can.
Okay.
Just go ahead and, yep, it'll come out of gear when you let off the fuel. There you go. Now just ease on that way. There you go. Attaboy. You're driving a commercial vehicle.
Well, that's good.
Yeah, man. Now we'll just ease around third gear here for a second.
What do you want to do? Take a wreck?
Yeah. It's your truck. We'll go wherever you want to go.
Well, yeah, I'm following your lead.
We'll just stay on this side of the parking lot because it's not used.
Over here?
Yep. Now just let off your fuel all the way and you'll get a feel for the idle. It won't die.
Okay.
This truck will not die on flat ground in the lower gears.
Okay.
You could have a fully loaded trailer behind you, it wouldn't die. It just idle right along. We'll turn right here around the curb. Practice using your mirrors because you can't look out the back glass and see. Alright. So right now you're in second gear. Go up and over just as fast as you can. Yep, go ahead.
That's not good.
Yep, just now watch how I do this. See here, it barely grinding?
Yeah.
Now give it just a little fuel.
Okay.
There you go. And that's the secret, you know. Well, it's not really a secret. Go ahead and cut through there.
Take it right.
Yep. The thing about this big of an engine and transmission, you're not going to force it into gear.
Okay.
You got to work with the truck as opposed to, say, making it do what you're going to do. All right, go ahead and come to a stop right here. Just take your time. All right, pull him out. Go into first gear.
So, which is that?
Now, when you push it to first gear, if it doesn't go right in, ease out on the clutch and you'll feel it pop right in.
Oh, wow, okay.
Yep. And what that's doing is you've got a little clutch brake. Now, when you're sitting still, you don't want the clutch all the way to the floor. Come up just a little bit. Right there.
Yeah.
It's hard to hold, isn't it?
Yeah.
It takes 80 pounds of pressure to hold a clutch in.
Okay.
All right. So go ahead and ease off your clutch and just ease around to the right. And believe me, your leg will get stronger.
Yeah.
And you don't give it fuel when you idle off on the clutch.
Okay.
Yep. I mean, it's not going to hurt it.
Gotcha.
Now, if you're going uphill, if you're in low, you don't have to give it fuel. It'll pull.
Okay.
Yeah, like cars have a lot of horsepower in relation to torque. These have very little horsepower, but a whole lot of torque. Now, you don't have to be in a hurry. Just pull on it, and just like you're pulling pressure, don't pull it out of gear, but you
Oh, and then let off the gas?
let off the fuel, and it'll pop right in.
Okay.
There you go. Look at you, man.
And then just try to shift to third?
Go ahead. Attaboy.
What'd you say? Just go around?
Yeah, go ahead and make you a circle. We'll be out on the highway in a minute. Just remember to relax. You know, people see this truck coming. It's not going to be like traffic where people try to fight with you. You're in something so big, they're not going to try to, you know, they're going to get out of your way for the most part. But you just take your time. There you go. Just let him, you know, you got to use the power of the truck and the engine. So unless you're coming to a complete stop, you always need to be in a gear of some type. Then you'll go ahead and go for your fourth gear.
Sure.
Attaboy. And believe me, you'll get smoother. You'll get to where we'll just hook around to the right. You'll get to where you never grind hardly. You'll get to where you've memorized the sound of the engine and where the gears line up.
But it'll kind of live in the meantime?
Yep. Oh, yeah. Yeah, you're not going to... As long as you don't just force it and grind, you're not going to damage something. But now, if you try to really force it into gear, you could break something. Now what you want to do is push your clutch in and push it out of gear. let off your clutch. Now just bump the fuel and push it in. You're good, you're good. Just go ahead and turn us around to the right. Now listen to the grinding. Now start giving it a little bit of fuel. See how it pops right in?
And that's third.
Yep. You're having to manually align your transmission and your engine. It won't do it for you. You know, that's where it's unsynchronized. So let's go ahead and hook around to the left. You're ready to get on the road.
Okay,
Yep, just go ahead and come to a stop right here. You're doing awesome, man. My first time in a tractor trailer was terrible. Of course, I did not have a patient teacher either. So now, push your clutch all the way to the floor. Now just ease it toward...
So, right there, right?
Yeah, you're good. Now ease out on your clutch a little. Attaboy. You're a natural, man. Ease off your clutch and go ahead and turn left. Just remember, you don't have to give her fuel. If it starts to frog hopping, just let off the fuel, but leave it in gear. Don't worry about hitting the clutch. It'll smooth itself out.
Okay.
Go ahead and try to grab for her second. There you go.
Third?
Yep. You gotta let that engine die down. And that was the only thing. You was rushing it from second to third. And that's okay, you know, it's not something you can be expected to learn right away.
Okay.
Alright. Now,
is this way okay?
Yep, go ahead and push your clutch all. There you go. Now just take your time. People can go around us if they want to. And remember, you don't want that clutch all the way to the floor. No fuel? Attaboy. Now just ease on the fuel. Go ahead and hit third or second. There you go. Now when you go from second to third this time, go for it, but don't force it in. Let the engine die down. Now just hold your hand on the gear. Give it a little fuel. Attaboy. Put your hand on top of the gear shifter and let me do the work. All right. Just let off the fuel. A little bit more fuel. All right. Come out of it and let all the way off. See, I don't force it, but I let the engine die down. All right, we'll just idle up to the white. You're doing really good, man. Believe me, I have...
So like muscle memory of driving cars.
Oh, yeah, man. And it is a hard habit to break.
We're going to go straight?
Yep, just go on straight. Now we're going to go back to first gear. Reach down, flip this switch.
Right now?
Yep, go ahead and flip it. All right, now I'll do the work. You just let out on the clutch when you let off the fuel, or let off the... All right, give us some fuel. Go ahead and accelerate. Go ahead and accelerate a little more. All right, let out the fuel. Fuel it. There you go, man.
So we were in fourth, we flipped the switch up, and then we went back to first.
Yep, and just depending on how you think about it, you could say this is a high first, or a better way is that this is now fifth gear. So you got 1, 2, 3, 4.
Just got that 1, 2, 3, 4 pattern.
Yep. Now for if we have to stop from here on out, and you're in the high side, just pull it into neutral, flip the switch down, and then we'll just coast to a stop.
Okay.
And just for learning time. All right, go ahead and give her plenty of fuel, and then the same as going from first to second. Just remember, you gotta give it more time for the RPMs to drop. Remember, you gotta be pulling on it just slightly. There you go, come on back. That's how you drive. Now, go ahead and get in the left lane. Yep, that's it. There you go. Now just cruise this lane, and you know, because that right lane's narrow, and if you get crowded and it jerks you off that little shoulder, it'll want to hold you. It won't wreck you, but you know, just for ease of you learning. All right, now this time, try accelerating a little harder, and then go from your second up and over. But just remember, if you get there and it's grinding, you got there faster than the engine could die down.
Okay.
So just keep holding it there, just where you can barely feel a grind, And it's almost like when it lines up, it'll suck you into gear.
Okay.
All right, so accelerate kind of hard. Yep, go for it. Let off fuel.
I did.
Oh, you still in gear?
Oh.
There. Take your time. Give it a little bit of fuel. Let off. Now gas it. There you go. It's just a matter now of learning where it lines up.
Yeah.
You know, you'll get to where you feel your speed. You'll never have to look at the speedometer. But it does help you learn if, like while we're just cruising here, you look at your speed and the RPMs. And then in the future, if you look down and you see the speed, you'll remember if to run a certain RPMs, I need to be here. Yeah. You're doing really good, man.
We really only go at 30 miles an hour?
We were doing 30 miles an hour. It feels faster, don't it? It's because you're so much higher up.
So then we only have one more gear, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. But your high gear, you can be doing 35, but at 20, let's say, at about 2,200 RPMs, you'll be running about 65.
Okay.
So your highest gears are spaced out farther. So go ahead and accelerate us up, and then go the same as you would go from third to fourth. And just relax. You're not going. Now you don't have to go faster if you're not ready.
Well, I mean, we're going to have to drive it back.
Oh yeah, yeah. So go ahead and accelerate pretty hard. All right. Now as you pull, let out of the fuel, and just come back and let the engine die down, and it'll suck you into gear. I'll help you. All right. Give us fuel. Now let out. Fuel it. See how you getting the feel for it, kind of. And I wouldn't just tell you this, man. You're doing really good.
I appreciate it.
Most people don't get out of a parking lot. When I went to school, the whole first day we never got out of the parking lot.
Sure.
Now hold your wheel pretty firm because this is just kind of a rough crossing. Attaboy. Fuel back into it. Now right here we'll practice a bump and run, okay? So push it into neutral and then just kind of burp the engine. You want it to come up to about 2,000.
Okay, so I don't need the clutch, just push it into neutral.
Yep, just push it into neutral. There you go. Now just hold it. Now just rev it up and see how much fuel it takes to get perfect. All right. Now you don't hold the pedal down. You just rev the engine and let out the fuel. All right, go ahead and do it. Let out. Now fuel it. That's how you downshift. Let's go down one more gear. Rev it. Ease on the fuel. There you go. All right, let out of your fuel. Now give it some fuel. More. There you go. Now let out of the fuel. Feel the engine pulling you down in speed.
Yeah.
This is how you slow down when you got to load.
Yeah.
All right, so now go ahead and just run. Play with it. Just run up through your gears. Don't worry about it being perfect. Now, if it's having trouble coming out of gear, try clutching it.
Okay.
But just push the clutch about halfway. Now clutch it and pull it back into gear. Oh, you're already in gear.
Yeah.
All right, now this may make it easier for you. We're going to try double clutch.
Okay.
All right, now what you have to do, yeah, just do what I say as I say it. All right, clutch halfway in, push it into neutral, let out of the clutch, push the clutch back in. Now go into your next high gear.
Shit, I'm lost now.
It's all right. Go ahead and just ease on the fuel. One more. Let's see, where are we at? All right, now give it some fuel. Easy, easy. There you go.
Oh, where are we?
All right, push the clutch in. Now give it some fuel. Give it some, let's see, I'm trying to figure. Now give it some fuel. Ease it on up. All right, hold your gear shifter, just keep on coasting. All right, let out your fuel.
Okay, now clutch is out, in or out?
Clutch is out.
Okay.
All right, now what we're gonna do is search for a gear. All right, easy. Hear how close that is? Now pull back here. See it's closer? Now give it some fuel. Easy fuel. Stay off the fuel. There you go. All right. Now we're going to try to get another gear. We know we're going to have to go in higher. All right. Well, we'll just coast up the light and we'll go back to the first gear.
Yeah, but we're still in high, right?
Yep.
So okay.
Clutch. Push it into neutral. Hold it neutral. Flip this switch right here down.
Well, now we're moving.
Yep, you're fine.
So which should I do?
Flip your switch down.
Okay.
All right. Now we're going to go over here. Now, don't give it fuel. Just listen. All right. That's a high grind. Now give it some fuel. Just easy fuel. It's all right. Don't worry about traffic or anything else. All right, give it some fuel. All right, see, now we're barely moving. See what I'm doing? I'm looking for a gear. All right, push your clutch about halfway in. Yep. There it goes. Now give it some fuel. Attaboy.
Okay, so now we're in third gear of the low rate.
Yep. Now just go for that. And now in fourth gear, you got to keep it way over here.
Way over.
Yep. Let out your fuel. There you go. That's how you do it, man.
Okay. So now we go to fifth gear.
Yep. You want to flip your switch up, clutch in, go to neutral, and then double clutch again. There you go. Go ahead and hit your sixth gear.
Should I use the clutch?
You can double clutch it, yep. There you go. So what you're doing when you're going up in gears, once you're in gear, you push the clutch, pull it into neutral, let out, push your clutch halfway down, pull it into the next gear. If you push your clutch too far, it gets in that clutch brake and it'll mess you up. So really you only got to push the clutch about that far. Just barely push it. You can go ahead and get over in your right lane, just take your time. My first time climbing a mountain, I came to a dead stop because I couldn't find a gear. You're doing just fine. So you're on the interstate now, you're cruising, and this is what you'll do for what, 4 hours on the way home. You know, and you've got to drive for the general public, so as long as you're over here and you just pick a speed, they'll go around you. 2 lanes are a little bit different, but you know, you drive at a speed that you're comfortable. Don't ever let the thoughts of what other people are thinking or how they're driving around you dictate how you're going to drive.
Sure. I mean, that's your responsibility.
Yeah. I mean, you've probably already seen it. It's a lot different running one of these than cruising around in a little car.
Oh, yeah.
And don't think of the highway patrol as somebody that's just out to get you. They're out here protecting you from all these other crazy people. Now on your way home, any way stations, go through the left lane. Don't cross the scales because you're empty.
Okay. So you don't have to stop for nothing?
Yeah, you'll go into the way station, but there's 2 lanes. There's a bypass lane. Is the guy that's with you, he's drove a truck before?
He has, yeah.
Okay, so he'll know what to tell you, but as far as being in North Carolina, for general purposes, you'll have to pull into every way station, but you'll take the left lane that's called the bypass lane.
And if they don't flag you down or whatever, you just go through.
Right. Now you've got an armrest over there next to your seat, I think. Yeah. You can just, you know, relax, hold the wheel. Now you want to keep a firm grip on the wheel, but you know, don't feel like you got to have a death grip on it. You know, and if 55 is what you're comfortable doing all the way home, I'd do 55. If 50 is comfortable, do 50. The minimum speed limit is 45. So as long as you're doing 45 or faster, you're legal. People may not like you, but you're legal.
Right.
But you're doing good, man. And you've got to check your mirrors how often?
How often? I don't know.
Every 2 to 3 seconds.
No, I have nothing to do with that.
Yeah, you don't, now focus on driving. I'm just telling you,
Yeah.
when you go to test, he's going to watch you. So take your time, drive with your buddy, drive around your property, but make it a habit to check your mirrors. And you always want to have it out. If somebody cuts you off, you want to know that you can just hit the shoulder or whatever, because slamming on the brakes not going to be your solution anymore. It's to get out of the way. And if an animal runs out in front of us, you hit it. Yeah, don't swerve, because this thing will, me and you'll both be going for a ride.
So we are in top gear.
You're in 8th gear. Yep, just keep on cruising. We'll go up to exit 55 and get off and turn left and jump right back on the interstate.
Okay.